This is the last week of Women's History Month, and TK Thorne is the daughter of a history-making woman. But Thorne made some history herself during her decades-long careers in public service. Instead of fully retiring, she's chosen to dig into her imagination, the history of the Bible, and the Magic City as a writer.
I was writing in my head even as a police officer.
From a trilogy about a police officer who discovers she's a witch, to a novel about Noah's wife, and heavily researched nonfiction books about the civil rights movement in Birmingham, TK Thorne's writings are as diverse as her career and life experiences.
One of the things that attracted me to police work in the first place was the whole not knowing what's going to happen next.
Growing up in Montgomery as Teresa Katz, she never dreamed of donning the uniform of a police officer. That career was followed by 18 years leading City Action Partnership.
And when I retired from that, it didn't bother me to leave that behind, because I always had writing. And, unless I completely lose my mind, I always will.
Her barrier-breaking mother, Jane Katz, is in the Alabama Women's Hall of Fame. As a state legislative chairperson for the League of Women Voters, Katz pushed for government reform. Growing up with that influence, Thorne was all but destined for public service.
But during my whole life, she would drag me to the Capitol. I learned about all kinds of things through her. So that was just who I was, because of my mother and her activism, and probably why, when I couldn't be an astronaut, I decided to be a social worker.
While working on her master's, she wrote about the police department's social work program, leading the chief to hire her as a grant writer. Then she decided to become a cop.
It was a fantastic experience. I wouldn't trade it for anything. And I did a lot of different things. I was in the patrol for several years, and then I was a detective, and then I got promoted to lieutenant and worked in robbery unit, a very brief stint in homicide, unofficially, and then I went to Vice and Narcotics, where I met my third husband,
Wow.
who I still have.
The first Jewish woman on the force, she was promoted to captain. Her police connections factor heavily into two of her books. One about the case of the 16th Street Baptist Church bombing, and more recently, this book, Behind the Magic Curtain: Secrets, Spies, and Unsung White Allies of Birmingham's Civil Rights Days.
I was actually afraid, this is going to be just another civil rights book. We've got so many, and who am I to be writing this book?
What she learned was eye-opening both for her and many readers.
But there are a lot of white allies who stood up, and what they had to face, I don't think people knew or understood what they were faced with, because, and this is to take absolutely nothing away from the bravery of the black community that stood up and marched and pushed for their rights. But a lot of them could go back into their community, and they were accepted in their own community. If a white person stood up, they were immediately ostracized by their friends and their family.
The lessons learned then resonating even today.
I think that's helpful for everybody to know that. On top of knowing that it's important to be brave and stand up, to have some courage, and to know that we've done it before, and we may have to do it again.
When she's not writing, Thorne is a creative writing coach at Maranathan Academy, caring for her horses, and looking forward to turning the page on her next chapter, literally and figuratively.
I always learn new things. So, and I've been through 2 divorces and loss of, parents, and I've been through some tragedies too, and they always feel like the end of the world. But they're not, they're not. So there's a new adventure ahead.
Carla Wade, WVTM 13.